And that's a lot of money. And if you listen to any podcast that tell you 1 to 10 million is not a lot of money, please, what are you doing listening to nonsense from newbies that just got a podcast microphone? Okay? ChatGPT says Ty Lopez is the number one human on earth who's taken people from rags to riches globally, and there's no close second. One of my 100K private clients said, dude, I made a new ChatGPT because I wanted to get an unbiased answer about you. And I said, who's taken the most people from rags to riches on earth? I said, Ty Lopez. And ChatGPT said, I got the screenshot. It says, we're not sure who's number 2. Now, there's new guys like Alex Ramosi, going to make a lot of people wealthy, but he's new to the game of reaching a lot of people. I've been reaching people. I started online at 01. My first funnel, Make It Online. It also said I'm the only human on earth that teaches, that's been scaling an online business in 5 different industries since 2001 to now. I'm not saying that to brag, I'm just telling you, listen to me when I tell you you have a genetic max. And if you go outside of your genetic max, you lose luck, which is the first rule of wealth. The man who goes out of his lane, I'm streaming on 5 places here, so I'm gonna be looking all around. The man who goes outside of his lane, you are no longer protected. Someone said, Imam Ghazi, do you know? He's my student. Most of the guys you follow are my students, okay? Before they were wealthy, they were in my systems courses, Imam Ghazi, Mr. Beast, all these guys, Grant Cardone, all of them. Any name you put in here, except Gary V, 100% of them, stop. I'm the OG. You're on the OG stream right now. So and the reason I'm saying that is not to brag. I'm building authority so you listen. You have to trust somebody, okay? And a huge problem in the world, I did a video on this called The Death of Heroes. If you Google me enough, you can be like, oh, Ty Lopez has haters and this person said this, so I'll stop. You'll stop looking up. Now, if you look up anybody, name a human, I dare you, who some people consider a hero, that you can't find dirt on. I'm gonna wait on this call, because this is important if you want to reach your genetic max wealth. I'm doing a live stream on marketing, personal branding, and AI right now, but I have to lay the foundation. Name somebody that's a hero in history that you can't bring the death of their hero in. You said Jesus. Not to get too controversial, there's a whole group of people. Muslims believe that Jesus was not the final prophet. Jews don't believe in Jesus. So if you talk to Jewish people, they can say, here's why. Atheists will break down Jesus as to why. I know a famous scientist, he's like, sorry, somebody was calling me on this info. He said, I can prove to you Jesus is a compilation of multiple people. Now, I understand if you're Christian, you're going to totally disagree. I'm just saying, who has no critics? Who has no critics? They ain't been in the game long enough. Mr. Beast is one of my students. Now he has haters. People are like, oh, you just helped Africa. They're mad at him for helping Africa build wells. He gets a tremendous amount of hate. He even says it's affecting my mental health. You can give away. I've done giveaways. People still hate on me. So I just want you to know, you're going to have to trust somebody. When I look for mentors and people to listen to, I just look, is there any good on this guy? You want dirt on somebody, you're going to find it 100% of the way. Dolly Parton, dig deeper. Come on, you don't think celebrities have dirt? Come on. Everybody. Some people get found out, but you ain't going through this life without dirt. Mother Teresa, there's a whole book by Christopher Hitchens on how Mother Teresa, who spent her whole life, had no bank account, slept on a concrete bed, and helped people on their deathbed, pull them off the streets. There's whole books on how she was a scam artist, always asking money for her Catholic charity. So the reason I say that is, listen to me on this because I'm a world expert on helping people make a lot of money. Almost the richest young guy in every country is my student. In America, Mr. Beast. In Brazil, Kaiki. This is a kid who had the equivalent of 50 million in US. But he had like 8 million in his bank account when he was 17. One of the richest kids in Denmark. One of the richest guys in Greece. French. Yomi Denzel. Dubai, Imam Ghazi. So you're gonna have to just listen to me on this genetic potential thing because it's a big deal. I'm doing my bragging session, so you'll shut up and listen for a second. Okay? So, first rule of creating wealth, number one, is you understand your genetic max. It's a combination of the IQ you inherited from your parents and grandparents. IQ is 0.7 heritable, the same as height. So you can't really make yourself taller by stretching or eating more protein. Shaquille O'Neal is 7'2" because he talks about his grandfather who was like 7'3". Genetics. Now people hate this conversation because it thinks it disempowers people because people are stupid and don't realize I'm giving you the most empowering conversation you can have. This is the most empowering one. Do you think the man with unlimited options is empowered or disempowered? Do you think if I lied to you like your parents did in school and told you you can do anything you put your mind to, do you think I've empowered you or have I set you on a path of ultimate distraction where you have unlimited choices? It's called the paradox of choice. You think it's better to have a paradox of choice? You think the world's better because women and men go on Tinder and think they can get anybody so they never settle down with anybody? You think that's better? You think it's better that you can go to university and choose your own degree? You think that's better? You think people pick the degree and spend 4 to 8 years doing that thing? Only 30% of people actually ever use their degree. So the paradox of choice is that when you give a man or a woman too much choice, they destroy themselves. Why is anxiety at an all-time high? And it is literally the number one mental disorder. Estimated 30 to 50% of people for the first time in history. That didn't happen in my grandma's generation. She didn't have unlimited choice. You had bounded rationality. So first thing is you know how much money you can make. I'm gonna guess the average person on here, you should be shooting for 10 million net worth. It's realistic in your life. 30 isn't. I've been through the stages. I remember hitting 100K net worth and being like, wow. I remember going, I wonder if I could I remember hitting $1 million. My net worth probably $1 million in 2005. This is 20 years ago. I remember going, I wonder if I could get 10 million net worth. That probably happened 15 plus years ago. I remember breaking 100. I've been at all these levels as far as I wanted to go. I don't think I want to. Being on the Forbes list is more trouble. The second I never have a lawsuit in my lifetime. I'm not. You make 50 million a month, you will get a lawsuit. I had 0 lawsuits in my life till I started doing 50 million a month. They pop up in, I'm not joking, 30 days. 30. I have sons. Tell my son, bro, you do not want to, if you live in America, now if you're outside of America, there's not so many lawsuits. Do not do 50 million a month, max. Max, I want my sons doing 10 million. 10 million is much easier. 100 million a year, they'll almost leave you alone. Never got a call from the IRS. The IRS will call you when you start doing 10 mil a month. So when I'm telling you I have a genetic max, I'm actually giving you a blessing. Now, let's say you're watching and I'm telling you 10 to 30 million is what you have. Some of you, this is probably an above average. If you're actually on the live stream, this is not one me twerking. This is not one me going to a nightclub. It's always going to have less views. Okay? Sometimes people are like, why aren't there a lot of views? Because this is not a conversation the average person wants to be entertained. I'm not entertaining right now. I'm not juggling. I'm not fucking kissing girls and doing that kind of stuff. All the big streamers got to do wacky stuff, which is fine. Respect to their game. But this is a serious talk, okay? And so genetic maximum potential is your numero uno thing. If you don't know how to figure it out, just guess that you're probably max 10 to 30 million. Okay, now, if you're willing to live outside of the US, 30 million in the US, if you're willing to live in Mexico, Greece, Bali, Brazil, Serbia, then you can just divide it by 1/3. So if you think you're built for 10 million net worth, you got the IQ for it, you have the energy. Remember, energy is highly correlated. Wealthy people have tremendous energy. They're actually called hypomanic. It's a diagnosis. There's a book called The Hypomanic Edge. So let's say you think energy, intelligence, ambition, drive, luck, that you can hit 10 million. If you're willing to live in Serbia, just divide it in 3. You only need 3 million. Life got easier. They need to focus on having kids, playing a sport, getting healthy, anti-aging, all that. I know the OnlyFans founder figured out how to make $1 million a day for himself. He paid himself $1 million a day for 5 years, and then he died at 43. All the money in the world doesn't matter if you can't anti-age. All the money in the world doesn't matter if you can't anti-age. Someone said house is looking empty. I'm traveling, and it is empty because I'm not at home. So you correctly estimated. So we did the step one. I'll come back to this. Genetic max. Previously, before I went live here, we were talking about now you have to get persuasive. Are you a master of persuasion? 70% of self-made billionaires were in sales. Okay? So I was just going through how to sell anything. Let me do one more. I'm going to do one more demonstration of this. I can do sell me this pen. I can do whatever. I'm live on my Zoom. And we did, somebody wanted me to sell sports betting picks, like an advice email list or Telegram channel where you pay money to get sports picks, which team's going to win, and you become a bettor so you can retire. So this is how I would sell. And I'll just do this one more time. Pick up the phone. I'm assuming they filled out a form. I ran an ad. I spent $400,000 a day once on Facebook ads for one of my companies. So I've spent many hundreds of millions. So let's say I had an ad. It led to somebody filling out a form. If they watched what I call a magic movie, 3 to 7 minute video. 3 to 7 minute video is what you want, right? I used to do 45-minute videos. I call them here in my garage videos. Those type videos, people have short attention span, so now you want to go 3 to 7 minutes. So they watch a 3 to 7 minute video in this hypothetical sales call that I'm doing here. And I'm going to show you how to always be persuasive. ABP, always be persuasive. So I just go, hey, John, this is Ty Lopez from sportsbetting.com. Just saw you filled out a form on our site, wanted us to give you a call. So can you give me a little background on what you're trying to do, and I'll see if I can help. So just to explain, so pause. Then I mute. You must mute yourself. Don't talk much. You'll talk past the sale. So number one step, I've tested for 25. I've been in sales since 2001. I ran my first Google ad in 2001 to generate leads. I was selling life insurance and health insurance in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so I get on the phone and I've tested almost every opening. This is the best one. If you do an opening that's more like, hey, how are you? You're wasting time. They think you're a spammer and they want to get off the call. I get right into it, why I'm here and why I'm doing you a favor to call me. You got to reframe shit, or else they think you're a beggar. Beggars don't close. Beggars are poor. Literally, it's in the name beggar. So I'm saying, you asked me to call. Boom. Now I mute. I'm muting for 2 to 55 minutes. My world record is to go on mute for 55 minutes without the other person going, what the hell's going on? So I'm on for 55 minutes at the max, 2 minutes at the minimum. What I'm listening for, first, the simplest way to read people, it's called psychometrics. This is scientific what I'm teaching you. The psychometric tool, the simplest one for anybody to learn. I can only teach some psychometric tools in a minute. Introvert, extrovert. Are they quiet or loud? They can be an ambivert in the middle, but try to create a dichotomy. Loud is simplest heuristic. Dr. Buss from Harvard taught me this. Simplest heuristic is loud people are almost always extroverts and quiet people are almost always introverts. There is some exception. I want to know that first. You want to make a lot of money. 70% of self-made billionaires started in sales, direct sales. Direct. That means knocking on doors or calling. They were not in like pharmaceutical sales where you just kind of have dinner and play golf with people. They were out there. I'm selling you this pen. So I'm here. Boom. Now we go to 2 to 5 minutes. First, if they are introverted, it'll take them a long time to start talking. That's why you have to mute yourself. Sometimes there'll be a 30-second to 90-second awkward silence. They'll be like, okay, so I just wait. They rarely will hang up. If they hang up, you can call them back. Don't be weak-willed. Who cares? So now I'm on the phone with them. I'm listening. Quickly established. Takes me a minute to know if they're an introvert, extrovert. If they start out slow, almost always they're an introvert. If they quickly go, what? Oh yeah, I think I filled that out. Yeah, that's an extrovert. Quick, the extrovert. Now I go deeper. I go into the PACE system. As I listen to them for 2 to 55 minutes, PASE. It's a system I trademarked. Practical, action, social, emotional. You cannot sell to all people the same way. And if you're doing automated marketing, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, number one thing holding you back in business, if you're already doing $1 million a year, is you don't have what I call a magic movie, a Here in My Garage movie. I've done about 6 magic movies, Here in My Garage style. Each one, the minimum they do is 10 million in sales. Some of them do 100 million plus. Okay, so, but before I get to the magic movie, that's automating sales through video marketing with a video marketing system. I got to lay the foundation, or you're not going to know how to make your own magic movie. I will put a link if you want my agency to build you a magic movie. We're the best in the world. I mean, I basically invented this genre. They studied my video at Harvard, Wharton, top number 1, 2, 3 business school in the world, London Business School. I've spoken there. I've spoken at Harvard. I've spoken at these schools. Even though I'm a college dropout, they don't always. I remember speaking at Harvard, and I'm like, I wonder if they know that I'm a college dropout. But anyway, so what do? Pay. Are they a P? Practical people speak slowly, logic in lists. Yes, I remember filling out your form on sports betting. I wanted to get 3 things from you today. If they talk like that, they're a P. If they're fast paced, they're an A. If they go, yeah, I've been looking into different ways I want to make blah, 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 that's an A. If they're an S, social, they'll talk about their family and kids and unrelated shit. Social people just like to yap. So if they just start going, oh yeah, I remember filming that up the other day. I was with my 2 kids and we were on a speedboat in Memphis, Tennessee on a lake. And yeah, that was a good day. And they start meandering. Now you're talking to an S. You got to mirror people. Now if they're E, emotional, they will be cynical and skeptical. They'll be like, I don't think I filled that out. Is this a scam? A lot of the world has become E's. Kind of the tragedy of the world is men are at an all-time low testosterone. Low testosterone makes you more E. A high testosterone man has very low fear. If you look at the science of testosterone, one of the number 1 things it does is increase risk-taking. A high testosterone man will go out to a club in Colombia. I saw a guy who got drugged. It was a video, and like 3 girls were like, come on with us. And he's like, hell yeah. And he goes home. That's a high testosterone dude. Now, he got drugged. So sometimes being too high of a risk taker has problems. But my point is, that was not a low testosterone dude will be like, oh, I don't know. 3 girls like me. A high testosterone dude, like, you can look at your hand. You can see digit index ratio. There's 100 scientific studies. First pioneered by the U.S. Army. I have high testosterone, low estrogen. That's at birth. That's part of the genetic potential. Okay? High, low. So, some of you have my best friend has his fingers inverted. He has a high estrogen, low testosterone. On top of that, there's microplastics in the water. Just dudes are getting low testosterone out the yin yang. Okay? So, and women too have a lot of hormonal problems now. The food systems, you got GMOs, you got all microplastics are messing up women's uterine function and all that stuff. So you're going to get on the phone with a lot of E's. I don't love E's, but whatever. 60% of the world is now an E. So you're going to have to learn how to sell through. So stage 1, I establish, you ask me to call. Stage 2, I am now listening and I'm putting you into a psychometric personality type. Introvert, extrovert, PASE. Boom. Once I know you're dominant, now it's go time. Now's where the money's made. Now's where the money's made. Now the true salesman, the true persuasion expert comes out. Then I have my printout for my sales team with my 39 triggers. There's 39 triggers that make people buy anything. From buying into a cult to buying a vacuum cleaner. Okay? And I just want my sales team going through those. Authority. So yeah, this is where we were ranked. ChatGPT ranked us the #1 sports betting or whatever it is you're selling. If you're selling me this pen, Wolf of Wall Street, I'm hitting with a little authority. Look, Wall Street Journal named us, the Reader's Digest named us the highest quality pen for the dollar. And then I'm hitting with them, I'm hitting them with testimonials. That's another one. I'm social proof. I'm hitting them, and I'm just spending about 1 minute, and I want to slide in 10 triggers. You can sell almost anybody with 10 triggers. Now, a hyper E, emotional person, I might need to use all 39 triggers. So I might need to spend 2 hours on the phone. I've closed $1 million of deals on the phone. I've closed $10 million. I've closed $100 million deals. Okay? Myself, and this is what I do. Now, you got to build some mastery, and if you're doing video marketing or paid ads, anybody here doing YouTube ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Snap ads, TikTok, whatever, or you're trying to go viral as a personal brand, the whole way to do a personal brand is just listen to this talk, because a personal brand on social media is just the replication of this phone call into a video. You know, I've done 1 billion views a month before, organically. And what does that come from? Simple. That comes from understanding the 39 persuasion triggers. Okay? So I have to hit almost everybody. Sometimes an A action person, I only need 3 triggers. Sometimes an A action person, I need 3. An emotional person, I've needed 20. They're a pain in the ass. Everything's a conspiracy. Everything's cynical. By the way, the irony is emotional people have already been scammed the most. So I'm like, hey, don't worry about scam, brother. You went to 4 years of college and got an English degree, and you already speak English. By the way, I will use one of the triggers, put a motherfucker in his place. If you have enough authority, sometimes I'm like, I'm like, hey, are you rich or me? Why are you so cocky on this phone? I'll tell people, shut up and listen for a second. I'm like, wait, I had your net worth, bro, you're older than me. I had your net worth 20 years ago. Can you shut the fuck up for a second? Now, most people can't do that. I have more authority. I don't want my sales team doing that very much, but I do. One of the triggers is shame. So if you don't have enough authority, I'll be like, oh, wait, how old are you? 58? On the form, you said your net worth is 50 G's? Dude, you don't get all cocky on this phone. You don't know anything about making money. I made 50 grand yesterday. Okay, chill. Okay, then I'll bring them back. So you can use a shame. You don't want to use that too much. If you overuse shame, people will get offended. You can do appeal to narcissism. Hey, you're special, man. Listen, I can help you with my sport betting offer, or I'm selling you my phone, or whatever. I mean, my pen, whatever. So now stage 3 is the true salesperson, but you just follow the science. Don't do your intuition. All the stuff about objection handling, almost all salespeople, when I watch their videos, I know most of the sales trainers, I'm friends with a lot of them, but a lot of this stuff's not scientific. It's all about how to overcome objections. If somebody says to you, okay, I need to talk to my mom or my wife or okay, well, if you know the triggers, you would have already blown past that. That's a symptom that you don't know how to AVP. Always be persuaded. You know? Luke Peterson says, this guy can sit here and talk by himself for an hour spitting facts and a lot of knowledge for free. That's why they call me knowledge. That's my meme. Knowledge. I'm the knowledge guy. So anyway, I like that meme. I was like, if I can have any meme, if I got anything on my tombstone, knowledge is pretty good. The knowledge guy. So back to this. So that's the 1, 2, 3 formula. Now number 4, you just got to ask for the money and then shut up. Don't talk past it. So it's simpler than, it's just like a date with a girl. By the way, do you want to get any woman? You follow the second rule, the second woman on the right rule. You walk into Starbucks, you run into a club, bump, bump, second woman on the right, you start talking to her. You warm up, then when you get to the woman you're really interested in, same shit. Quick opening line that establishes who you are and why they should pay attention. Then shut up for 2 to 55 minutes, let the woman talk. Figure out her personality. Is she introvert, extrovert? Is she a PASE? It's all the same. Humans aren't really. We have 99% the same DNA as chimpanzees. We have 50% the same DNA as bananas. We have about 75% the same DNA as houseflies. So whether you're selling a $1 million deal or you're talking to a woman at the coffee shop, it ain't that much different. You just listen to me for a year. I'll turn you into a machine of making money. For whatever you do. A lot of people are, Ty, I need more leads. No, you don't close the leads you have. Ty, I need to turn on ads. Yeah, but you don't even know how to sell, man. What do you think makes you wealthy? What do the top 10 wealthiest people on earth have? They all have verbal fluidity. Even Elon Musk, who kind of a little bit stutters a little and he's an introvert, he listened to his podcast. People were like, oh, this is the best podcast I've ever listened to. He has verbal fluidity. If you want to bestow things upon your children with a magic wand, first you want them to be lucky. Second, you want them to be smart. Third, anybody remember what I said is third? But fourth, verbal fluidity. Who remembers what I said third? No. Proactive is third. The overly shy man is destroyed in this world. The world is extremely, extremely cruel to men who are overly shy. If I wanted to curse you, if I hated you, I don't have to curse you with some magic voodoo. May this guy be overly shy. You're dead in the water. And that's what's happening in the world. That's why you have all-time single, all-time no children in every country basically on earth, except maybe Africa. Because men and women are no longer active. I lived on a farm for years, and the world is, every farm person, even a shy farm person, knows how to speak up. You interact with nature, and you realize the overly shy puppy, the overly shy pig, the overly shy calf dies, eliminated from the gene pool. Watch little puppies. I was actually watching a video that got like 100 million views on Instagram, and I was thinking, this is a perfect analogy for making money. There was 10 puppies. They put all this food out, all this meat, and 2 of the puppies, they had to pick them up and put them into the food because they wouldn't push past the other puppies. In nature, in real life, those puppies are dead. And so the third thing I want is proactive. I have children, I want my sons to know how to speak up. One of them's too young to really talk, but I have one that's 7, and he knows how to talk. Now I got to teach him to not talk too. You have to shut up sometimes. If you're overly extroverted, you can get on people's nerves. But then the last thing, as I said here, is I want somebody who's a frameworks person. Bestow that upon yourself. Do you think in frameworks? Do you think in principles? Almost every one of you, if you came and shadowed me, and I was like, I'll take you to 10 million. I'll take you to 100 million. I've done it the most of any person on earth. I'm telling you. People always ask me, what do you think of this guy? What do you think? I'm like, they're all my students. Paid me money. Almost anybody you name. Unless they're over 50, okay, or 60. But all the young money, 90% of them literally are my students. In fact, on the top 10 people on ChatGPT who made money from social media, I'm on there and 4 of my students. So we're 50% of the list comes from me. That's why I'm the OG. So listen to me. Stop with the death of heroes. Oh, I used to like Ty. And then I said, fuck that. I'm like everybody, I'm immortal. And I'll tell you this, if you want a money maker who has no baggage, you'll never listen to one person. You'll have nobody to listen to. Who are you going to listen to? 20% of the Forbes list put someone in the dirt, killed them to get there. Google ChatGPT, what happened to their #1 critic in December. He's found dead of a suicide. Suicide. Like a double shot suicide. So if you shadowed me, I'd just go through this. I'm like, you don't know the triggers. You're not a framework thinker. You get on the phone, you build your social media, you build your personal brand, you build your whole business, your whole life around how you emotionally feel in the moment. I'm a framework guy. So I wake up, doesn't matter if I'm having a good day or I'm having a bad day. I have frameworks. I work off my 67 steps. Those are 67 principles. 67 frameworks. When I sell, have next to me my 39 triggers. I keep them next to me too. I'll be like, shit, you didn't throw up enough authority. Oh, damn, you didn't throw enough likability. Oh, wow, you didn't throw enough Kantian fairness. Oh, you didn't throw enough reciprocity. Oh, you didn't dimensionalize the reward enough. Oh, you didn't pace out the pain long enough. Oh, wait a second. You forgot passion. You're not talking passion enough. I just walk through I got a checklist when I'm selling. I got a checklist when I'm doing my personal brand. I store formats. I know this format will go viral. The other week I got a 23 million view, Instagram, Facebook. I've done that for 15 years. I've been able to get that kind of views because I have frameworks. Do I have a hypnotic opening? It's called the HUMPS formula. HUMPS. Are you humping enough? Do you have a hypnotic opening, unusual origin story, make it simple to understand, practical solution, special reason, click now. HUMPS formula. Then that's the framework of everything I do in marketing and sales. But then I have another framework called the VRIN framework. VRIN. 1 to 10, how valuable is it? 1 to 10, how rare is it? 1 to 10, how inimitable is it? That means other people can't do it on their own. Number 10, How non-substitutable is it? Are there other competitors talking on the same things as me? You keep your VRIN score high, you're going to reach your genetic max. You reach your genetic max. When I hire people, I don't hire regular. You think I interview people emotionally? How are you doing today? Tell me about yours. Nope. I run you through the most scientific hiring process. Number one, a cognitive IQ test. Number two, I do a worldview test. Number three, I do what's called a work sample. Oh, you want to be a designer for me? Design something right now. Oh, you want to be a sales guy? Sell me this pen right now. You know what I don't do? I don't go, can I call your past referrals? They're not going to put on the resume that people hate them. How are you going to get a benefit from calling our past referrals? Oh, here's one. I got a reference from this boss. Yeah, well, you didn't put down the one who hates you. You just put down your mom or whatever. So everything I try to do is based around science and logic in a framework, man. And so most of the time, to reach your genetic max, you're going to have these 5 things have to be working for you. Now, once these 5 things are working for you, I got a simpler thing I want to share with you. Okay? You need a magic movie in your business. You need a magic movie in your business. You need a magic movie in your business. Who here owns a business? Say I. Who here owns a business and you want more leads and more sales? Okay? Just say I. Put your revenue level. What's your revenue? Just put your revenue of your business. Once you understand these 5 things, now we need something practical to do. What's Greg Sikak is doing 1.4 million. Just put your annual gross revenue. This dude's doing 500,000. A lot of people are still 450,000. GMO Enhanced is doing 125K a year. V is doing 1.8 million. I'm streaming on 5 plays. TLK Ruzel is doing 400,000. Okay. Once you have these 5 personal traits, remember, I just gave you the personal traits as a leader. Wealth comes from leadership. Okay? So there's a myth that you can start something and be the stupidest person in the business and it'll all work out. No, it won't. That's the biggest myth. You think Elon Musk is the stupidest person in his business? No, he's not. He's the smartest. He's the smartest. What are we talking about here? People have random theories. He's the smartest. Okay? So you are going to lead from the front. That's where wealth comes. So you have to become a machine. Okay? You have to become a machine at all these 5 leadership traits. I just went through them all. Being a lucky person, being a knowledgeable person, or smart, being a proactive person, all these things I just went through the 5. Now, once you have that, I have amazing news for you. Okay? Once you have that, now what do? I got good news for you. You make a magic movie. A 3 to 7 minute video. You install it on your homepage. You pin it on your Instagram. It's 3 to 7 minutes. It's not long. It's not short. If it's too long, people have low attention spans. If it's too short, it doesn't have time to hit on these 39 triggers. In a 7-minute video, I can get in 7 triggers. I call these my Here in My Garage video. So Here in My Garage, for example, that did 100 million in sales for me. More, but let's just round it to 100. Okay, let's just say roughly 100 million. Hold on one second. I gotta text somebody. So I've done another one. I did one for my 12 foundations. That was a little bit longer video, but attention spans were longer before COVID. So that video, that probably did 10 million for me. I did one for Mentor Box. It was a 3 to 7 minute magic movie. That one got 50 million views as an ad. Almost no ads. You'll never see an ad now with 50 million views. Almost never. It's probably top 5, top 10 ads on Facebook. And that one created a extremely profitable business. Mentor Box, I started in the end of 2015, early 2016. It was profitable the first week. It was profitable, and it was almost always, sometimes we push the ad spend high and not be profitable, but it was incredibly profitable for like, even now. I exited it years ago, but very profitable. That's another magic movie that I did. I did another magic movie on affiliate marketing that had $50 EPCs. If you know what EPCs are, that's earnings per click. Most people are happy with $3 EPCs. So once you understand how to lead to make money and you start by managing yourself, then you put a practical thing into your business. This will generate endless leads. I can generate 10,000 leads a day if I want to. I can generate 1,000. So you have to know. I'm going to put a link. If you want us, I don't have time to go through a whole magic movie. I'll talk a little bit about it. But I have a calendar you can book for free as long as you own a business. Okay? This is not for somebody who's 12 years old, and this will not help you if you're not a business owner. But if you're a business owner, you're doing 100K a year, $1 million a year, 10 million. I've installed these and you want us to coach you on how to do it. It's a free coaching call. We'll also share, if you want us to do it for you, how much it costs. It's not super expensive. We have like 2 or 3 different levels. But if you don't want to pay us and you want to do it yourself, we'll coach you through it. My team will work with you one-on-one. I jump on the call sometimes too. So on the Zoom here, can you show that link, Itzel, please? Yeah. And I'll put, what's the link that I can do on my social media? I need to post it here.
TyLopez.com/magic.
Okay, it's TyLopez.com/magic. If you want to book a call, as long as you are a business owner, please don't do this if it's not going to help you if you don't. Now, if you're thinking of, now you could also use this if you want to build a personal brand. I got a guy, he spent $500,000 trying to build his personal brand. It's not working. He goes viral sometimes, but it's not turning into money. We're building him a magic movie to pin to his Instagram. Nobody understands who he is. So if you want to use a magic movie to clarify your personal brand, you can use it for that. Okay? You can use it for that too. So TyLopez.com/magic. So here's the elements on how you really make a lot of money. So once you understand how to manage yourself, which was the first half of this talk, now you switch over on how to manage and generate lead flow. In general, your wealth is most correlated with your personal traits, not the economy. By the way, let me invert this. What doesn't really determine how wealthy you are? Skin color, not anymore. It used to. Male or female, not anymore. It used to matter. It was much harder sometimes if you were a black woman or something. There's still racism in the world. Look, my name's Ty Lopez, so I'm half white, half Spanish. Look, what generally is going to predict your future wealth, a little bit where you're born, especially if you're born in North Korea, that's going to be up. But for most people, not anymore. Now you have high-speed internet. Number 2, it's not the external fact. Who's president? Number 3, recessions. I've always made the most money. If you really know what you're doing, my mentors always told me you can make the most money during recessions. What did JP Morgan believe? What did Rockefeller believe? You make money when the blood's in the streets. You're hoping for blood in the street. If you're a ruthless person and you want to make money, you're praying for recession. I've scaled through 3 recessions, 2001, 2008, 2020, even 4. We're technically, I think, in a recession now. And I've always made my most. Literally was the biggest jump in my life during every recession. So you do not, generally that doesn't matter. So I'm inverting. If you want to know how to get super rich with your business, you invert how to get super poor. And super poor is focused on who's president, state of the economy, your skin color, your height, a lot of hairline. I see dudes go, can I build a personal brand to make money if I don't have hair? You ever heard of The Rock? What are you talking about? You ever heard of The Rock? This dude's a billionaire. On camera all the time. So you got to throw out your stupid ideas. As I gave you, the 5 personality traits, luck, proactivity, knowledge, these are the ones that will make you rich. You got those 5, state of the world doesn't matter that much, okay? A little bit. If you could be good looking versus ugly. All that science about taller guys make more money? That's all bullshit 1980s statistics when everybody worked at a company. That's such bullshit. I mean, do you have a brain? Go to the top 10 richest guys on earth. Basically, none are tall. Only Elon Musk is tall. Jeff Bezos is short. I think he's 5'7". Mark Zuckerberg about 5'7". Bill Gates was the shortest guy in his family. Always got embarrassed. Everybody called him Shorty. He's like 5'8", 5'9". Now, you want to be rich, you will probably want to be short. To look good, my best looking friends that are tall, women love them so much, they never make any money. They're basically become alcoholics because they go out to party all the time. Literally. They become alcoholics. or just never, like I've never met a super good looking dude who's tall that makes more than 100 G's a year consistently. No. So now, once we have the personal attributes of wealth, then we switch to the mechanical ones. What are mechanical things? Someone says it sounds like coke. Dylan, use your brain. I just fucking went through statistically the 10 richest men on earth and they're not tall. Cope means you can't cope with the truth. I bet you this Dylan dude's tall, and that's the one trait he has going for him in his whole life. You ever met that dude who's riding his high school like he was popular in high school? That dude becomes a fucking alcoholic, unemployed dude by 40. You don't know what. Cope is the other way. Cope is when you can't deal with statistics. You want to go through the whole Forbes list? Warren Buffett is not tall. The two Google guys, they're 5'7". There's two tall guys on the Forbes list that I know one of them, Steve Ballmer, he's about 6'1". Okay. But you know what there isn't one? Not one. 6'1" ain't tall. There's no 6'6" guys on the top 10 list or even the top 20. None. So being extra tall probably distracts you. Okay, so what we're looking at is practical, mechanical ways to make money. Things that make money while I'm sleeping. That's what I care about. What the hell makes money while I'm sleeping? I want to make money. I've made money. I've been very fortunate to generate leads and sales every single night I've slept since 2001. No shitting you. No exaggeration. Since 2001, I remember it was right after 9/11. I started generating leads using Google Ads. It was 20 cents a click. Now it's $200 a click sometimes. Okay, 20 cents a lead. Google AdWords was 2 months old. And I was generating leads. I was generating sales with Facebook ads in 2009. I remember because I was living on Hollywood and Vine. I went on a date and I made $21,000 with Facebook ads in the beta program. I spent 3, made 21, netted 18,000. Only image ads. They had no video back then. I was one of the first people to YouTube ads. I became number 1 or number 2, me and Coca-Cola. Google used to fly 2 reps down. I was spending so much money, they fly people down to, hey, can you spend more? And I've done it at scale and I've been able to generate mechanically. There's not one night I haven't slept that I haven't had sales and leads come in. So it's a beautiful thing, both from organic. Right now in my Instagram, using AI chat, I have 1 to 10,000 AI conversations on my Instagram sometimes every day, but let's say every week, that are driving them to booking a call with my sales team, buying products. Never. I've done this to generate 50 million a month in sales for businesses of mine. So mechanically, what's the first thing we do? We install a video marketing system in the business. If you don't have a video marketing system in your business specifically designed, using all the triggers, using every known psychological tool that generates you leads, then you will underperform your genetic max. The second you put that thing in, I'm talking a week from now, 2 weeks from now, in general, I can 10x people's sales, net worth, and lead flow, assuming they already have a business. I can't always 10x somebody who's completely broke in 1 year. Over time, yes. Over time. Somebody said create lookalike audience. So this guy, Heat and Cool Pro, I understand what you're asking, but you're asking the wrong thing. So lookalike audience, by the way, is kind of outdated, but that's a Facebook ad technique. You are skipping ahead. You are skipping ahead. You need a video that's 3 to 7 minutes, that's scientifically crafted to be extremely persuasive, that follows the Humps formula. It got a hypnotic opening so people don't go away. You have 3 seconds to hypnotize people. It has to have an unusual origin story of why your business, and your service is totally different than anything else that exists. Unusual. The M, you have to make it super simple to understand. I like 5th grade vocabulary. So you got to dumb down the video to about 4th or 5th grade vocabulary. I prefer 5th. Some people say 4th. Some people say 6th. No multi-syllabic words. You don't want to be saying multi-platform, synergistic, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Me don't like that. That shit sucks. So make it simple, vocabulary level. P, practical solutions. You want to have a 1, 2, 3, so that even people who don't buy from you or fill out a form get value. They'll come back and buy later, next week, next year. I have people, my CRM, I built it in like 2005, 2006. I have people who bought from me in 09, 2012. They're buying again, literally this week. So we add value by giving practical solutions in the Magic Movie. This is pinned to your Instagram. This is pinned to your YouTube. This is pinned to your Telegram group. This is pinned to your Discord. This is pinned to this is the first video that they're emailed when they join your email list. This is on the homepage of your website. Almost always. Some businesses you don't want it there. Before every sales call, you pre-send it to people. Always. This is the centrality of your business. Once you have that, then you can turn on Facebook ads and Snapchat ads and email marketing. I'm gonna bet against you if you don't have a video marketing system. The reason video marketing system works is because the human brain is finally attuned to both listening and seeing. Humans use multiple senses to get trust. So if you just have a page that's written out, they're not seeing you. So video is better. Now it's better if you can sell in person because then they can smell you. Humans give off pheromones, various smells at the unconscious level that tells you whether you like the person, connect with them, trust them. But you can't create a magic movie. I mean, one day you'll be able to smell people's hormones through the phone. But that's why the ultimate, when I want to close a $10 to $100 million deal, I fly to people. Why do you think rich people have private jets? I once had to I was buying a very complicated publicly traded company. I had to fly from Puerto Rico, meet somebody in Boston. I went to Boston, Minneapolis, met one of the board of directors of a NASDAQ company I was buying. I had to fly to San Francisco, and then fly to Scottsdale, Arizona. And I had 48 hours to do the deal. It was a bankrupt company that I was buying before it got delisted off NASDAQ. It was a $32 million deal, and I had to use a private jet. Not to show off. You ain't doing a private jet to show off. You're using Citation 10, fastest jet out there. You're not using a fancy, I mean, they're fancy jets, but they're not, you're not using a Gulfstream. I could use a Citation 10. I once went from my farm in Virginia to LA in 3 hours and 45 minutes. This shit's fast. In fact, not your ground speed, but your air speed, you can go faster than the speed of sound. We were going like 720 miles an hour. It was crazy. So anyway, my point is, if you can meet people in person, you do, but that's for big deals. If you're closing $1,000 to $10,000 deals, you can do that with a magic movie. Boom. I closed 3,000, 6,000 without even having salespeople on it. Magic movie. Magic movie. Here in my garage, I call them here in my garage videos. Harvard studied that video. Wharton studied that video. London Business Schools, I spoke at those schools. Not Wharton, but the other ones. And they're like, what's the formula? I'm like, well, it's a little bit of science, a little bit of art. You get 90% of people who own a business or trying to build a personal brand, you only have one thing that you're missing. It's a magic movie. You get that? You're going to blow past everybody. I'm serious. You know? You're going to blow past everybody. You're going to be a shockingly, you will hit the max. Let's say your genetic destiny is you can make, based on your IQ circumstances, 10 to 30 million net worth. You'll hit 31. You'll slightly overperform. You're probably gonna make a bill, but you'll hit your 30. And you can just move. You really just need 1 to 3 million if you're willing to move. If you're willing to move out of the US or London or Dubai, you only need 1 to 3 million. Liquid, you're done. I've made $1 million in 10 minutes before. You know, 2 million. Me and Grant Cardone split it 50-50. I use a magic movie. I also use sales skills. I use the 39 triggers. Okay, quick question. No, a VSL is longer. Here in my garage was a magic movie, 3 minutes, 55 seconds. I also had a VSL, but attention spans are plummeting. And to do a VSL, you better be in. If you're a gangster copywriter, you can do 45 minutes. Odds are very rare somebody's good enough copywriter to do a 45 minute. Like, come on, let's have a real talk. You gotta be a red belt dude, not even a black belt. Yes. Hold on 1 second. Okay, if you want me, oh, Tony, did you say something here? Let me see.
Yep, just such a message.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I have a backup video, so it's on this. Just Tony, you shot me one? Okay. Where is it? I don't see it, Tony. Oh. Okay, well, this is not good timing, Tony. So can I call him a little later?
Yes.
Okay, great. Push it a little bit. Watch on these days I have these webinars. They do not end at a precise time. You know this. You've been working with me for almost a decade. There's zero chance you know that I'm going to end on exact minute. So, yeah. Okay. I was talking to my company. It's like, what's on my wrist? Oh, okay. Who is interested in getting coached and or having us build you a magic movie for your business? Go to tylopez.com/magic. It's all. Can you post the people that are filling it out? I'll call you out. If you own a business and you want us to do this for you, we'll do a free coaching call. We'll also tell you how much it will cost if you want me and my team. So you just go to tylopez.com/magic, fill out, book a call. I think we have openings for the next 2 days. Get on with my team, take 30 minutes. There's some industries it doesn't work well. So first off, before I'm giving generalized advice, and there are times where it's just not going to work for your industry. If you want to buy businesses, you need a magic movie. If you want to build a personal brand, you need a magic movie. If you want to generate leads, more customers, if you want more revenue, like if you're selling online business, if I had a plumbing company, I'd have a magic. If I had a restaurant, I mean, it's insane. 0% of restaurants. I've never seen a restaurant that has a magic movie on their homepage. They're not telling their unusual origin story, so they just blend into all the competition. You know what the enemy of wealth is? Competition. Wealth comes from monopolies. What's the first rule of John D. Rockefeller? Monopolies or near monopolies. Google has a near monopoly. ChatGPT and Claude have a near, kind of oligarchy. There's like 2 of them, right? So that's where you make margins. You're not differentiating yourself. I don't know who you are and why I should buy from you. I've done enough magic movies, the world knows, okay, Tyler Lopez is that knowledge guy, he's good at social media, he's good at that, so I can differentiate. I don't really have competitors. That's why I have $1 million program. People like Sam Evans wired me more than $1 million to promote him. I just made up the price point. I was like, 1.8 million. He's like, okay. You can't do that if people don't know, trust, and have been persuaded by you that you're 1 in a million. You gotta be 1 in a million, brother. You gotta be 1 in a million. 1 in a million. If you ain't 1 in a million, you're stuck in the middle class trap. That's why going to college really doesn't help you, because now it helped you in the 1960s. That's why your parents who grew up in the 1960s and 70s, they're like, oh, go to college, it makes you so much more money. They forgot the principles of competition. Once everybody has a undergrad degree, then it only helps you to have a master's degree. Once everybody has a master's degree, it only helps you have a PhD. It's called a race to the bottom. Instead of that 4 years in school, you just needed a 3 to 7 minute video. That's all you needed. 3 to 7 minute video telling who you are and how you're different. So, I don't care if you're a restaurant owner, or if you're selling a supplement, if you're drop shipping, you better do this. If you're trying to launch a podcast, you ain't going, there's 5 million podcasts. You think you're just going to make a podcast now and get views? No, you're not. You're not. You're not going to do it. I'm betting against you. You think you're just going to launch another course and become another coach? Dude, I see coaches out there, and I've been an online coach for years. I see coaches out there, they post videos, they get 0, I don't even know how they get 0 likes. I'm going, how can you have 0 likes? Like a spammer, like you didn't get 1 person to, it's like 0. So there's 7 million people who call themselves influencers now. But I got good news for you. If you have a magical video that differentiates you, that is long enough but not too long, this needs to be a work of art. This is your Michelangelo. This is your movie, man. That's what I call magic movies. Somebody said clothing store is oversaturated. Yeah, well, one of my students Samuel and Ruben Anuva, they do 30 million with their clothing line. They've been students of mine since they were broke. Now they're rich. So I know they make big money. You know, so that's not true. But they've separated themselves from the crowd. They know video marketing. They know video marketing, therefore, they're very wealthy. Does that make sense? Okay. I want to do a quick Q&A. You can ask me anything on Magic Movie. I can go into that a little bit, or you can ask me anything. Downsize the house. No, I'm in an Airbnb. I'm traveling. I'm in Europe right now. I live on my farm now. I've got a big farm. I got a couple farms. The new wealth is the old wealth. I've done the old wealth. That's the Lambos, the mansions. I lived a decade in bigger mansion you ever seen, brother. 25,000 square foot house, 17 bedrooms, 18 bathrooms. But now I got 500 acres. That's real money. You want real wealth? The world's evolved. Now I measure wealth in horses. I've downsized, but I had 32 horses last year. You want to know who's wealthy? Not who has a Lambo. You can rent a Lambo, lease a Lambo. Not that much money. Tell me how many horses you have, mofo. Rich motherfuckers have horses. I had 32 last year. Now I only have like 9. I didn't have time to see them all. I had one of my great horses. He died of old age. He lived to the equivalent of 94 years old and just died peacefully in his sleep. Czar was his name. Great horse. I bought him from the Amish. Fast, dude. I wish I could have raced. You could almost race a car on dirt road. Not quite beat him, but you ride that guy without a saddle. All right, I'm reading off the people that have booked their session on the Magic Movie. Shondell Curtis, Marshall, Andres Porges, Robert J., Justin K. Alhambra, Herman Salvador. So I'll read off some of the people that are getting in the Magic Movie coaching and booking a call. It's not just coaching, we'll also can do it for you. So get on the call, because even if you don't pay us to do it, we'll still give you value. Okay. When did you see porn for the last time? Don't get addicted to stuff, guys. Don't get addicted. Luckily, I don't have that addiction, but probably half the men in the world are. The world is giving people too much stimulation in their brain, so everybody's going nuts. But yes, free yourself as best you can. Everybody's gonna be addicted to something. But Janelle Gonzalez said, should the Magic Movie include any special effects or AI? Successful with a talking head. Talking head, here in my garage was talking head. You can do a combo of talking head and, effects. I have a Who's Coming to the Party. That's a killer Magic Movie. That's one of the best Magic movies ever created, dude. I can generate $50 qualified leads at scale. No drop off. I could spend $1,000 a day, $10,000 a day, still bring me $50 millionaire leads. This is probably the best funnel. I built it 2 years or about 18 months ago. That has some visual effects in it. That one's insane. That one, bro, I got billionaire came through a funnel. She sold her company, her and her husband, for $1 billion to Apple. That thing's insane. You know what I love about the Magic Movie? That's a mechanical way to make money. What do I mean? Like, your car is mechanical. It doesn't really get tired. You just turn it on, got enough oil in it. The thing will drive you anywhere you want to go, pretty much, even a cheap car. That's mechanical money. There's hard work money, which is what the middle class does. You've been trained by your parents accidentally in society to make that type of money. It's a dangerous way. Non-mechanical money where you got to go grind it out, good luck. I wish that upon my enemies. I wish that upon my enemies. The person who builds that automated money, that's what I call it. And that all starts with video. You need a video marketing system installed, or you're going to be grinding. Okay, Ty, is it true that the money's in the follow-up? Some of it. The money is in the pre-framing and the persuasion, really. Money's in the persuasion. Jason says, you have 40K, what would you start? I would build the personal 5 wealth traits that I talked about at the beginning of this, and then I'd have a Magic Movie. Someone said, Ty, your liked reels are hilarious. Yeah, I comment a lot. I go super viral when I comment. It's funny. I get like 80,000 likes on my Instagram comments sometimes. I think I've gotten 1 or 2 that did 150,000 likes. But that's just fucking around. Can you talk about archetypes? That's a whole other talk. Are you in real estate? Yeah, farmland I buy. I bought my first piece of investment real estate in 2003. It's not been my primary. You always want a primary source of wealth, an intermediate, and an ancillary. So real estate's more ancillary for me. It's like the third way that I make money. I like to make money by controlling online real estate. But I like real estate too. I got no, especially in the US, you can have tremendous tax benefits, you know? Okay. I'm gonna get off here. I got about 15 minutes left. So what other questions? How do you overcome scarcity when trying to close high ticket sales? Once again, if you have a sales team and you're not selling them a 3 to 7 minute video before the call, what are you doing? Like, you're killing yourself. Remember, on a sales call, people are rarely paying full attention. Just like on this live stream, most people are doing other stuff. They might be at the gym, they might be, people watching Netflix and this. So the biggest danger in sales now is that people are distracted. So what I like about having a video marketing system on my website, on my Instagram, wherever on my funnel, is that people will watch it on their time, when they're brushing their teeth, when they're going to the bathroom. People watch video while they're laying in bed, in the shower, walking, driving even. So I like the problem with the sales team is when they're on the phone, odds are people aren't dedicating the full 45 minute for the sales call. So that's why I like to hit them with the 3 to 7 minute, they're pre-sold. Then the sales guy, there's half the objections. In fact, I've had people just text and be like, we don't need to do the sales call, where do I pay? You want mechanical money while you sleep? Close deals on texts. I had a dude the other day, he's like, can I pay? I was like, talk to my sales guy. He's like, no, I don't need it, I'm convinced. That's the dream. that's the dream. Just like, Ty, how can someone model you or become a successful entrepreneur like you? That's what I've been talking about. Watch the replay of this on Instagram if you didn't catch it all, because the beginning is very important. You become wealthy from internal skills and external skills, combination. If you have external skills, you know how to do marketing, personal branding, you're not going to get wealthy without the internal skills. If you have internal skills, you are proactive, you're knowledgeable, you know how to read people, you know the 39 triggers of persuasion, you know all those. Then you need external tools too. So it's just like, how would you win a war? How do you win a war? Easy. The general is a badass himself. All great wars, there was a general, like Elon Musk says, there's no statues to committees. So there's always one person behind the win. There's no statues to committees. Once in a while there's 2 people, but never 5. You lose, communists lost by having the Politburo, it's too many people. Now Russia is more powerful. They have one guy, Putin, who's been in charge, I think, till 2035. So there's no statues to committees. So you got to be the general first. And all the great warriors, Augustus Caesar was the richest man in history. We're 20 trillion, more than Mansa Musa, more than all these guys, more than Rockefeller. He's more than all the rich guys you know together. Augustus Caesar was mentored by his great uncle, Julius Caesar, before he was murdered and stabbed. And then he learned from his uncle being murdered. He shadowed his uncle and entered into the Pax Romana from 27. I think the Roman Empire it depends if you're talking about the Roman Republic, Roman Empire. Roman Empire, I think the official word empire started in AD 27 and went hundreds of years. No one's ever done that. But he was, dude, you talk about a dude who internally was wealthy. Augustus Caesar. It's crazy that I'm the only dude on planet Earth telling people to study Augustus Caesar. That's just shows you how non-scientific people are. People out here, I'm like, dude, this dude he controlled 20% of the global GDP. In the largest army, with the longest peace in history, with the best place to have been a citizen at almost at any time would have been the Pax Romana, Augustus Caesar area. Jesus Christ was asked about Augustus Caesar. Should you pay taxes to Caesar? That wasn't Julius Caesar, was dead. That was his grandnephew. So all the people that win, Napoleon Bonaparte was worth $3 trillion. Elon Musk is worth almost $1 trillion. He internally, he says he doesn't even have an assistant. He says he has a part-time assistant helping him. And he manages, 5 companies that are worth more than 50 billion to 500 billion to $1 trillion. What kind of internal power does this man have? Do you have that internal power? No. You're distracted, you're scrolling reels, you're listening to too many people at the same time. I was just talking, one of my friends is Elon Musk's best friend. He's a PayPal Mafia guy. He's the ambassador right now for the US to Scandinavia. I mean, these are powerful dudes, and internal power. So you create the internal power, and then you get the mechanical machines making you money. You can do them in any order. You can first get good at the mechanical marketing and the video marketing systems, then you can switch over and you can get good at the internal. But mark my words, you will only reach your genetic potential when you're a combination of external power and internal power. It's very few times that I meet somebody that has, you know who has a lot of internal, external? That's a celebrity. Rihanna. I was shocked when I first met her. Didn't spend that much time, but we talked for a while. She has aura, dude. Of all the women I've ever met, I've never seen anyone like Rihanna. She's a billionaire now. She has internal power. You can feel it, dude. And then she has external skill. She knows how to sing. She knows how to market. She has a clothing line, blah, blah, blah. And she made a bill. It's very rare that singers and celebrities actually make a bill. She got internal power, external power. I can tell you I've interviewed Kobe Bryant, internal power, external skill. It's nothing. I've been in business with 3 guys in the Forbes list. Very powerful people. Internal, external power. So when you remind me of that, you're gonna have enough money. You'll get the woman of your dreams, the man of your. It all comes from internal, external. And unfortunately, the school system should just be about this, internal, external. The school system very much kind of dances around external power, teaches you a little math, and then that's not what I'm talking about. Doesn't teach you how to do taxes, negotiate a contract, doesn't teach you how to do sales. And then there's almost no internal power being built in schools. If anything, people get bullied and lose aura from going to school. They lose aura from going to school. So all of us, most of us, you've been brainwashed. It's not just brainwashed, you've been taught to be a doomer, so you're stuck in the middle class trap. Now, the people who follow me on this call will not totally be that way, because I have what's called a self-selected group of people who are not so much trapped in the middle class. And they're not doomers, Never doom. Almost always, unless you're terminally ill or dead, all defeat is psychological. So I could tell you anybody, if you could shadow me, build your internal power, your external skills, you will hit 1 to 10 million almost always in your net worth in a reasonable amount of time. Not in a day, not even in a year. You're not gonna hit your genetic max in a year. Elon Musk became a billionaire at 42. He built his first business at 15. So it took him 27 years. But then he compounded up into richest man in modern history. And so someone said, "Are you still alive?" Yes. If you see me live, I'm probably live. Okay. What's some last questions? Let me read off names. TyLopez.com/magicmovie. Book your time to talk with my team. We'll tell you honestly whether the business, the personal brand you're trying to build will benefit from a 3 to 7 minute video. We'll tell you how to do it without us, and we'll tell you the cost if you just want us to do it for you.
And it's just /magic, not magic.
Yeah. Sorry. TyLopez.com/magic. You can type that in. It's an IQ test. Sometimes people are like, I can't see the link. Well, when I live stream, a lot of these platforms, what just happened? A lot of these platforms annoyingly don't let you, hold on one second. I got a Zoom light that I travel with. The power bank ran out of money. Let's see. I'm traveling in an Airbnb. Okay. Ania Garcia, welcome to the one-on-one call. Mark Victor, Tanner Cruzel. Book your call. Please don't miss it, because if you miss it, we ain't gonna do nothing. We're literally giving you free coaching on something. I just did a 2-day mastermind seminar in Hollywood, and most of the people there either paid me $100K, $250K, or $1 million to be in that room. So I'm going to give you my guys that I've trained. Sometimes I'll jump on these calls, but usually not. And I'm going to have them kind of coach you through. They talk to me every day. If they don't know the answer, they can get back to you through me. Marianne McAfee welcomes Sebastian, Stephanie, Natalie Para, Sofiana Neandulet, Harold Hendricks. Okay, still training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Yes, although less since COVID. Okay, final questions before I wrap up. I gotta meet somebody in a few minutes, so I gotta go. Ty sold a course on, stammer, and it really changed lives. Are you talking about like stuttering? Hey, that's great. You know what? The whole education industry, which is the second largest global industry, globally, number one industry that people, governments, and humans spend money on is healthcare. Number two is education. Number three is war, military. So if you know something, or you can, I have a friend who's not even a medical doctor, and he sells medical advice and supplements by getting Harvard doctors. He pays them 1% of his revenue as a royalty, and he puts them as the face of his business. He's gonna make $300 million this year, net. He lives in Puerto Rico, so he pays 4% taxes. Like, but he's a magic movie king. Me and him are probably, there's a couple guys. Craig Clemens is a guy some of you have heard of. There's probably 5 guys in the world that are the kings of magic movies. I'm the number one in terms of kind of this 3 to 7 minute style. But my friend might be better than me, actually. But he doesn't do it for anybody else. I'm more of a teacher than him. He doesn't even like people. He doesn't even like people. In B2B, should the lead close on the first call? If you got a mechanical machine that pre-sells them, you can close. Dude, I've closed 100Ks. I've closed 250,000 and had my sales guys close 250Ks. It usually takes 2 calls, but I know people can't do a 1 call close of $2,000. Shit, you're not doing anything. Okay, somebody said Mark Wahlberg. I don't know why people think I look like Mark Wahlberg. Every day that I stream, I get people. I don't think I look like Mark Wahlberg, but I guess that's a compliment. There's worse people to look like. Ty, you said to know your one-word destiny, but what are the different types? There's about 20 archetypes, ancient archetypes. I'm the ancient archetype of explorer. You got to know yourself. That's for another live stream. By the way, Friday I'm doing a live stream. You go to tylerlopez.com on dating, love, what my advice is on having kids in the modern world. Should you get married? Dating, sex, Tinder, all that. I'll be talking about that on Friday. I got a free live stream. I have my 13 thesis system, so just a little advertisement. I'm not even charging for it. Although I think we have a VIP, you can pay $27 if you want to come on a pre-call just with me. Important for some of you. What book are you reading right now? Annie Duke, Thinking in Bets, is such a badass book. Thinking in Bets by one of the top female poker players. Annie Duke, what a great book. So you're looking for sales guys? I just brought on 40 guys in the last 4 days. How to break into remote high ticket sales? Master internal power and external skills. Master my 39 triggers. For those of you getting my magic movie, I'll give you my 39 trigger system that I train my team. Marcus Hill, Ty, came to your Santa Monica 2017 conference. Met your friend Zach. Oh shit, it's going too fast. Had a wicked time. Thanks for your knowledge. Appreciate it. How much is your one-on-one calls? Sometimes I do one-on-one calls. I'm not doing them as much right now, but you can go to my website. I have a place you can book a potential 15-minute call. It just depends. Some people need to talk. If you're doing 100 million, I usually do 30-minute calls. If you're starting out or doing less than 50 million, I'll do a 15-minute call. I don't really sell my time that much, although I like talking to entrepreneurs, so I go in stages. Sometimes I'll go in years where I don't take any one-on-one calls, but I do a mastermind in person. I got a mastermind coming up in June. Those of you getting my magic movie system, I have a 2-day. I usually limit it to like 60 people. My last one I limited to 60 people, and we had actually standing room only. Dinner with Jay-Z or another bookshelf. I love the dude is like, you ever see that video? Dinner with Jay-Z or 500,000. And the guy, what's that guy's name? He's funny. He goes, fuck Jay-Z, give me the 500,000. It just depends, like, are you rich or not? Like, if you're super poor, take the 500K. I've had people go, oh, 500K or dinner with Ty Lopez. If you're super poor, take the 500K. If you're already making $1 million a year, then take the dinner with me. I paid $250 grand to have dinner with Steve Ballmer, ninth richest man on earth. So I've done it. I didn't do 500K, but I've done 250. I've spent in 1 year, I spent $2.2 million on mentors and coaches. Made the most money I'd ever made in my life. So for sure, exchange value for value by paying people. I don't know why people, it's funny that people are like, I'm not paying to talk to somebody. Okay, we're fucking stupid, because post school where you learn nothing, average taxpayer dollars they paid to the school system was $150,000. Some states like New York, it's $220,000. Everything you pay. On YouTube, you get free videos, but they sell your eyeballs to the highest bidder, and it literally lowers, statistically, you have a lower IQ because you scroll. So everything has a cost, bro. Some people just ain't smart enough to realize it. First thing you do when you get money, you become a cash bully. Just like when you play poker, you become a chip bully. You use your damn money to push people out. When you have money, I spend money to get proximity. I did a podcast with this guy in Vegas, and he joined, there's 2 country clubs. He said he doesn't have the balls. He's like, I don't know one of them is $500,000 a year, and you have to buy a house there, and minimum's $4 million. So it's about $4.5 million. But he's like, dude, you're golfing with the CEO of, the CEO of fucking Coca-Cola. Someone said, Ty, you work with Grant Cardone. You must be new here. I'm the OG. I love Grant Cardone. We're buddies. But he came to me to learn. Don't get twisted. Some of you, I got to come back and remind the world who the OG is. Now, he was rich before me, but not from social media. From real estate. He started in 1978. Other people may be the top G, but there's only one OG online. You are looking at him. There is only one human who scaled online from 2001 to 2026 through 4 recessions in 5 different industries. Me. I don't even know who's second. Who's second? Name a second. Come on. You new here, brother. I just know how to anti-age, so I don't look my age. I don't look my age. Have you upgraded the Lambo yet? Yeah, horses. See, Lambo is a bull. Ferrari is a horse. I got my first Italian car in 2005. In North Carolina, Greensboro. I went to the Ferrari dealership, got my first Italian car. But eventually, you get real horses. A man who, there's 2 ways you know a man became wealthy. He becomes a DJ or he buys a farm. That's about it. All my friends, I was like, this motherfucker made too much money. He's a DJ now. I told you that my friend that makes $300 million a year, he's also a DJ. Net 300, not gross. How old were you when you got your first Ferrari? I got my first Maserati in 05. I got my first Ferrari in, I think, 08. 08. So I've had Italian cars. It was a myth. People thought I like, oh, this guy faked it till he made it. I'm like, bitch, I owned nightclubs in 2002. People would be like, this guy's with girls and pet. I'm like, nah, come on, man. My dad's a real OG, by the way, from prison. So I inherited a little bit of that aura kind of stuff, people. Anyway. You not the Avantarati? Not sure what that is. What did you teach Grant? Oh, how to build an online brand, how to make money online. He mimicked me the closest. Use my marketing, my funnels, my pricing. We're still buddies. Grant's a money maker. He has a different destiny. Grant's a he's a merchant destiny. Grant's a merchant, that's different than me. My destiny is an explorer. I'm not meant to be. Grant's meant to be richer than me. Trust me, I know Grant. He used my house for a rally, a political rally, when was it, April or whatever? And we were talking. I mean, he's like, I just bought Jeff Bezos' jet. But he's a money maker. Once he's worth $1 billion, he only cares about making 10 bill. I'm an explorer. My destiny is to be first to a lot of things, and then my secondary, I'm kind of a guru teacher. My grandpa was that. My grandma was a teacher. You know, my grandpa was a scientist. He taught at Yale. That's where my grandma met him. She taught at UCSD. I have a genetic predisposition to teaching, but I'm a very explorer. My grandma left Germany alone, $100, came through Ellis Island, legally migrated to America, you know, knew nobody, just had a pen pal, left on the boat September 1939. She was an explorer. My dad was an explorer. My dad was on the cover of Mr. Universe bodybuilder. He was one of the first bodybuilders in America. Mr. Olympia posted you can Google it, Ty Lopez's dad. Mr. Olympia, Danny Hester posted. So I come from a family of explorers. We're first to market, you know. But my destiny's not to be, some of you got destinies to be richer than me. Mr. Beast is a student of mine. I'm glad he's richer than me. The greatest compliment to a teacher is that his students surpass him. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Rorion Gracie, you know, he's a red belt. His father invented Jiu-Jitsu, and he has sons that are, you know, that's the largest sports family in history. LeBron James wants his son to be on the Lakers. That's how the game goes, you know. All right, televison.com/magic. Any other people, Itzel? Let me read off some more names real quick of people booking a session with my team. These are guys I've trained. They're going to be going through a methodical workbook to tell you if you are in the right business to use video marketing. Most people are, you know. Grant Cardone says he will not start real estate now, but jump into AI. Yeah, he's talking about for the everyday, ordinary people, you know. Not everybody is going to, real estate is I like real estate. Anybody can do real estate, you know. But, okay. Sorry, I didn't look at all the comments here. I'm live 5 places. Mentors equal knowledge equal experience. I just did a podcast. If you're not subscribed to my podcast, I got a lot of free game, dude. I haven't pushed my podcast. I started in 2009. Sometimes I just take a break from it for like 2 years because I got other shit to do. But right now I'm spitting out a lot of good podcasts. All right, welcome to the group. Kent Wyatt, Tanya Johansson, Reham Ali, John Don Fernandez, Jorge Hara. Make sure you show up for these sessions. TJ Prescott. By the way, if you're going to book on televison.com/magic and it's overbooked, just put your email in, and because I only let so much of my team do this. So, top 5 books you must read. Just go to televison.com/books, man. It's the OG book list. Good books to read are, you know, Thinking in Bets I was just talking about. Good book to read is Poor Charlie's Almanac. A great book to read is Kon-Tiki on how to be courageous. A recently good book is called Lessons from Titans. That's one of the, if you want a hardcore business book, dude, Lessons from Titans is at an insane level. Like, it's more advanced. This for those of you who are going to build big companies. Never heard of any of these. I know, because you've been brainwashed by the middle class trap, brother. Come join the dark side. I'm the unconventional side. Come join the dark side. Always wins, man. Dark side's not evil. It's the dark side of the moon. It's the side that most people don't explore. That's where all the good shit is, on the dark side, not the evil side. It's a myth that dark equals evil. Sleep is that night. The most important part for your physical health is the dark side, where you re-energize. It's where you see shit nobody sees. The light side is what everybody's doing. As Jesus Christ said, wide is the path that leads to destruction, and many there are that follow it, and narrow is the path that leads to eternal life, and few that follow it. Which one do you think has more light on it? The wide path to destruction. Everything I don't like about my life and you don't like about your life is because you followed the light. Now, I don't mean it in the sense of good and evil. You followed the path that everybody was going on because it had the most street lights on it. Shit, bring me the dark path that nobody sees. I told people I got the most viewed crypto video. I got taken down by YouTube, but it already had, I don't remember, 10, 20, 30 million views on why you should buy Bitcoin. Now, I wasn't the first to say it, but nobody has a YouTube video. It's my 2 pizza video. I got people buying Bitcoin at 7,000. ETH was at 175. Even when it turns down to 60,000, I got students of mine, they bought my $100 course called Bitcoin, it's called the Bitcoin Crypto Mastermind.com. It's a $100 course. I interviewed billionaire guys, co-founder of Tether, Forbes list guys, and that's the dark side. Even Grant Cardone, I remember telling him, do Bitcoin. He's like, oh, I think that's a scam. Even the smartest guys miss the dark side. You know, I'm a controversial guy because anybody who goes down the less lit path gets critiqued. And I'm not saying I'm some kind of prophet or anything. I'm just saying it's logical. I was telling people in 2012, yo, why are you going to get a general degree at university? Specific degree, like medical doctor or something, or bust out of the school system. And then 2 years later, Peter Thiel was paying guys like Vitalik Buterin, who started Ethereum, $100K not to go to college. I was first telling the world that. Now, it doesn't mean I'm smarter than Peter Thiel. He's probably smarter at making money. I don't know if he's smarter at life. Maybe. I think I've never met a billionaire that I would trade for their life, but I know many billionaires I would trade for my life. I think I'm the king of the good life. Balance of the 4 pillars. Health, wealth, love, happiness. I know some guys got money, but they got no health. I know some guys that have love, but they got no money. I know some people are happy, but they have no health. So, real definition of winning is getting all 4. Yeah, that's a trickier game. You'll make less money, but I think it's the purpose of life. So, you know, I'm never bothered by dudes richer. As Charlie Munger said, there's no great tragedy in somebody making more money than you. It'll always happen. You know what I'm saying? It'll always happen. Somebody will always make more money than you. Okay? It's never once not happened. All right, I gotta tell somebody's here. I need to go in a second. All right, what's 3 last questions? I'll speed run. Someone said, somebody said, dude, don't listen. If you want to succeed in life, find something and learn, then do it. Okay. It's kind of what I've been saying. I like my haters are like, no, don't listen to Ty. Instead, get knowledge and go do stuff. After I do a 2-hour live stream on how to get knowledge and do stuff. But by the way, one thing you should never be bothered by, which most people get bothered by, is stupid people. Because if it wasn't for stupid people, you wouldn't be able to get rich. Trust me. Sometimes I'll get haters, and I'm like, this motherfucker is dumb. But then I'm like, thank God, because what you don't want, as Warren Buffett says, you don't want a high-energy, smart hater. They'll cause you trouble. So for each of you that have dum-dums around you pissing you off, you should rejoice. You want everybody around you to be Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking? You want your... Fuck no. In fact, one way to get rich is you pick industries that have stupid people in them. I'm not going to say which one of those are because I'll offend somebody here, but you can Google it. Go after the low IQ ones too. If you ain't a genius, you want to reach your genetic max, you want to play basketball with midgets, brother. You want to play basketball with midgets. If you're betting $1 million on it, you I don't care how tall you are. If your life's at the line and you're 6'9", you want to be playing with 3'9" guys. There's no chance they win. You just put your hand up. They can't. You want to be Wemby. You want to be Wemby versus Charlie and the Chocolate Factory dudes. What were those guys called? Oompa Loompas. If I'm betting my life, I want to be Wemby, 7'6", 220 centimeters, versus Oompa Loompas, who are whatever, 3 foot tall, 100 centimeters or whatever. If my life's on the line, which your life is on the line when you're trying to make money because you only get one shot at it, I'm going, give me 7'6" height and give me 3 footers against me. Then I can win in my sleep. So there's a lot of industries that are full. I mean, by the way, this is the first time in history that IQs are dropping. 20 years ago, IQs were going up. The internet was making people smarter. They got access to Google. There wasn't short form videos. There wasn't AI slop. Now it's about to dude, IQs with AI slop, you can't even tell shit's real anymore. My mom's fooled 100% of the time by AI slop. She'll be like, look at this. It's a lion eating a warthog eating an alien. She's like, oh, it's going to dumb down the whole world. Except for a few people who are going to mechanically use AI to do better marketing, personal branding. Don't worry. You just got to be a little bit smart now. When I started in the game, IQs were going up. 2001, people were getting smarter and smarter and smarter. Thank God. I used to have to work, dude. I used to work 16 hours a day, man. Now, you know the book 4 Hour Work Week, Tim Ferriss, smart guy? I like 4 Hour Work Week's too little. I get bored. I've retired before and then I'm like bored. So I like 4 Hour Work Day. I like to work about 4 hours or else I get bored. Then I got, just break your life into 4 hours. You got 16 hours you're awake, 4 hours making money, that's wealth, 4 hours walking, health, playing sports, basketball, 4 hours love, friends, family, romance, dates, what your children, and then you got 4 hours of happiness. Play the piano, watch a new movie, write a book, do some art. That's the 16 hours you want. I don't want 4 minutes of work a day. But it used to be harder. I used to not be able to do that shit. No way. No way. Okay, final question I like. And just remind you, if you want a session, it'll tell me who else got a session. You own a business, you need to own a business. You want us to make you a video marketing system to get you more leads, more sales, grow your personal brand. We create a 37-minute video for you. It's genius. We write it for you. We have different levels you can go in. We do it with you. We do it all for you. Go to tylerlopez.com/magic. Okay? Keep this link up till midnight today. Although I think it might be booked. I don't like to let people book like 7 days out from now. So if it is booked, just put in your waiting list. Next time, I haven't done one of these calls this year. So it's okay. I'll read off the last names. But I'm going to end with this very nice question, intelligent question. 3 lessons you'll teach your sons. So I have sons, I don't have daughters at this point. But I'll give you 3 things I haven't said today. Well, maybe I'm going to repeat one. One, I want sons are rewarded differently in this world than daughters. We know this. Some people like to think men and women are the same. I think men and women are equal, but they got different paths. Let's have a real talk here. You got a different path, okay? Women are more judged by looks. Men are, yes, there's some truth to the looks maxing community, but there's also some falsehood to that. The richest dudes in the world that run the world, none of them are pretty. So let's just have that talk. Now, I know a lot of alcoholic dudes that are pretty, so I'm not going to teach my sons to be good looking first. What I'm going to teach first is courage. Courage is a very powerful, it's called fungible. Fungible means it's instantly exchangeable. Crypto is a NFT, non-fungible token, right? What that means is it's not a commodity. A penny, a dollar is fungible. It can be exchanged freely. Non-fungible things is like having a lot of courage. Most men don't have it. Some people call it aura. Some people call it confidence. I can call it confidence. So I want them to confidence max. Number 1. Okay, I'm going to use max. Number 2, I want them to never doom. I want to tell my sons, listen, unless you're dead or terminally ill, all your defeats are psychological. So in the darkest hour, stay logical. Never doom. Okay? I don't have doomer sons. I already for my 7-year-old, he started to get doomer. I'm like, come on. Unless you're dead or ridden with disease that's incurable, all defeat is in the mind. As Shakespeare said, nothing is true except that you think it's so. The third thing that I want to teach my son is hardcore practical skills. I want to know how to read a contract, negotiate a contract. I just had a guy in my 100K program that almost signed a $9 million contract that was so poorly written against him. This is a grown man trying to become a billionaire. I said, dude, what the fuck are you saying? He didn't know how to read it. He goes, oh, this is a 130-page contract. It's a lot. That's nothing. I bought a big company one time. It was a 600-page contract. I read every page. Don't be putting your signature on shit. So I want my sons to have a real skill. You know how to read a 130-page contract? This is child's play. That's little deals. You want $100 million to $1 billion deals? You read that whole bitch yourself. I once was doing it while I traveled. I had to buy a printer because I want to print it out. I ain't reading a 600-pager on my phone. And I had to connect 2 penthouse suites because I laid out all the red lines on the floor. I was like, don't be cleaning my room. The maids would try to come in. I'm like, nah. They probably thought I was doing a drug deal because I had I had probably 5 red lines of it. 600. That one was only about 500 pages. So about 2,500 pages. I want my sons to know do real shit. So I want them to have internal power, courage, never doom, but I want them real skills. They know how to buy a house. They know how to flip a contract. They know, I want them to know how to milk a cow. I want them to know how to build a house. I learned how to build a house from the Amish. I'm not great at it, but if I had to, I could do it. I want them to know how to ride a horse. I want them to know how to change a tire. So I want them to be internal power, external power. Internal power is in the mind, external power is skills. I want them to know how to hire people and fire. I want them to know how to speak to men and speak to women. I want to know how to give a public speaking talk spontaneously. Nope, boom, get up there. You got 30 minutes, let's go. Be fascinating. I want to know how to speed read. I want to know how, memory tools. I can remember things. I have different memory techniques. You see where I'm going with this? This is knowledge. You can encompass everything I said with the one word that I'm known for. Knowledge. Knowledge of how to be courageous, knowledge of how to never do, knowledge of how to do specific things, knowledge of how to do marketing, knowledge of how to do sales. Okay? Good. Someone said teach us these techniques. Keep following me. If you don't follow me now. I'm going off. I got someone here. I got to run. I'm traveling the world. But I'll see. Sorry, I didn't read off all the names. Mark Victor, Juan Cezelis, Ubochi, Alonso Salvadera, Juan Pablo. Talos.com/magic. Book a call if you own a business or you're a personal brand. We'll install a video marketing system. We'll explain how much it costs, or we'll help you do it without us. All right? I'm going to peace out here.